Hello, hello! Welcome back to another week of Speak Up with PT and Friends. I'm PT. My friend will be joining us momentarily.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Chris!
What's up?
What's up, bro? Hold on, let me respond to my guy right here. Dude, I miss you too, man. We miss you. Uh, it's been a long time, man. Or it feels like a long time. I guess it hasn't really been that long. But yes, Elevate and Texas both misses you. But my friend, Chris,
Hey,
what's up?
real quick. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Jess is watching. I forgot to tell Janelle that I was doing this. Can you text her and tell her that I'm doing this?
Jess, be the messenger.
Help me, help you, help us.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay, so I noticed that someone left, so I bet you that's her texting her. So there you go.
Beautiful.
What's going on, man? What you up to today?
I'm out here working, doing the adult thing, trying to make some money, pay some bills.
Adult things. How is that going?
It's not going too well. I am lost in Copper's Cove,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and I can't put on my GPS because I'm doing this. So I'll be
So,
driving around for the next however long this takes.
well, I don't know if you noticed, but I decided to, knowing that you're going to be in your car, I decided to get into the car as well and to kind of try to create a similar atmosphere, if that makes sense.
Kind of like what's that show that Seinfeld? Comedians in cars getting coffee.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever like see something like that and go, dude, why can't I have done that? Why can't I have thought of that? Like the most simplest, stupidest thing ever. And I mean, granted, it's got, a little bit of, grandeur because of who's in it, but still, it's like such a simple concept. Like
I'm
I
pretty
could
sure we did think about that like a long time ago, and we were like, nah, nobody would watch that. And now it's a
it's,
Netflix thing.
it's like, dang it. Oh man. Okay, so I got some questions for you, Chris. You've done this before. This ain't your first time. This ain't your first rodeo. Um, So I have some random out there questions for you before we get started. You ready?
Okay. For every question you ask me, I'm gonna ask you one.
Done. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. If you had to work but didn't need the money, this is an easy one. What would you do? If you had to work but you didn't, if money was no issue, like if you didn't need the money, what would you do?
Oh, like I can do anything in the world?
Anything in the world.
Do I already have the training and the capability?
I don't know.
Or am I
I
just
mean,
like
it's,
going at it like now?
um, I don't know, man. Sure, whatever. The only stipulation is that you don't need the money. You have to work, but you don't need the money. So sure, training, no training, doesn't matter.
Okay. So with training, I'd probably want to be an astronaut because that'd be really cool.
Uh,
Without training, I'd probably still want to be an astronaut because that'd be really funny.
so like
Uh,
you just get a balloon or something, like just gotta do your own thing.
no, no, no. NASA's still gonna shoot me into space. I just have no idea what I'm doing when I get there.
So you just go up as like some kind of like, hey guys, do science on me, like whatever you want.
Yeah, basically, like, hey, I'm here. What do you guys need? All right, question for you.
All right, what you got?
Left or right?
Right.
All right, we're going right.
Was that seriously the only question?
Yeah, yeah. I'm for real lost. I have no idea where I am.
All right, cool. Next question. If you had to disinvent, I don't know if that's the right word for that, or disinvent.
Doesn't matter. I know what you mean.
If you had to make something not become invented, redo it from all time and space and history, what would it be?
That's a tough one.
Like a material thing.
Yeah, there are so many things that I hate. So, um, like a material thing. Um, man, that is a hard one. Does it have to be like a non-living thing, or can it be a living thing?
You think like of an animal or something?
I mean, I maybe.
Let's not be mean. Let's not name a person. If you got an animal, sure.
Cats.
What? You
No, I'm
have a
just kidding. I
cat.
love cats. I love cats.
All right, so
Um,
come on,
I
man.
don't
Give
know,
me
man.
something.
Potholes.
Potholes. Okay. No one invented potholes.
I'm pretty sure the government invented potholes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And this is a last. Well, not really, but kind of. Do you lick your plate?
Absolutely. Have you met
Yeah.
my wife?
Oh,
Oh my God. The food that she makes, yeah, I'm for sure licking my plate
uh,
before and after seconds.
good to know. Good to know. All right. Okay, so this one, it's not like a funny one, but it's something that I know that you talk about and you know about. So I thought the people would love to hear what you have to say on this, and that's about zombies. You and I have had, yeah, I know. I set this up for you. I'm ready. So you and I, we have a long history about talking about this. We've played video
Right.
games. Last of Us is probably your favorite, one of your least favorite top five favorite games.
It's
Um,
number one.
there you go. You know, zombies has always been something we talked about. So I want to ask you two questions about zombies. Number
Right.
one, could it even technically, practically happen to humans? And then two, you have a unique story, not a story, a unique defense of zombies in the Bible, and I think this is a great time to bring it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so first off, there are three trains of thought for zombies that
Okay.
are viable.
Yeah.
The first one is the cordyceps, which is based off of the cordyceps fungus, which already is a real thing in nature,
Yeah.
where the spores will get inside of an ant or a small functioning bug. It will kill that bug and then use its body to move the bug around. It'll go to a high place and then it'll sprout and spread more spores and infect more bugs.
It's crazy.
It's insane. If that fungus were to evolve a little bit so that it could take over higher functioning brains like human brains, it
Mm,
could happen.
mm,
Thought number two would be some kind of biblical plague where zombieism just happens out of the blue. That one has been in a lot of movies. I think that's probably the scariest one because there's literally nothing you can do to stop it.
true.
And then number three is the one that the Zombie Survival Guide book was written based off of. That's a virus called Solanum,
Mm,
which basically would just shut down all other functions of your brain, drive you into cannibalism, and it's spread through blood, saliva, and flesh.
mm.
So obviously, you're driven to cannibalism. You go bite somebody, they also catch the virus, and then they're driven to cannibalism, and it spreads that way. Luckily, those are more like the George A. Romero zombies, so they're slow moving and easy to kill. The
Mm,
problem is, if a lot of people get infected, you're overwhelmed and
yeah,
you run out of resources.
yeah. Mm, interesting. All right, Bible, shoot me up, man. What you got?
Isaiah 26:19. But your dead will live, their bodies will rise. You who dwell in the dust, awake and shout for joy. Your dew is as the dew of the morning, and your earth shall conceal her dead no longer. I fully believe that that is about an end time zombie apocalypse.
Wow.
You can read the whole chapter in context if you like, and it'll still hold that same meaning.
Yeah.
You can read the chapters around it. Basically, what's going to happen in the end times is there's going to be some kind of catastrophic event that causes people to attack each other. They'll take the arms of their brothers and bite them. Fathers will turn on sisters, sisters will turn on mothers, mothers will turn on sons. It's going to be pandemonium 2020.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane. Um, and then the only safe place from that is going to be Israel, which is another big zombie movie trope. That's probably where they got that idea from.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
Israel is the only place that's going to be safe because it's God's chosen people's land.
Wow. Dude, that's so cool, man. And
There's also,
terrifying.
yeah, no, there's also a chapter in Zechariah, I forget which one it is, but it corroborates my story about zombies in the Bible.
Well, there you go. Good to know. All right. So around the same realm of things that have yet to be proven, or I guess depending on who you ask. One last random fun question. Bigfoot. Real? Not real?
Absolutely real.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely real. 100%.
Evidence? Thoughts?
Well, there are plenty of pictures and tracks, different trains of thought. Like, is it just some really big-footed homeless guy, or is it some subspecies of Yeti?
Oh, gosh.
Look, all I'm saying is we haven't explored 100% of the Earth,
Yeah.
and things can be out there that we don't know of. It could be an interdimensional thing that only shows up every now and then.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Well, all
don't
right.
put my
Well,
God in a box. Maybe he invented.
ooh, I like that train of thought. Very nice. All right. Well, Chris, you brought it up earlier. You were talking about. I asked you what you're doing today, and you are doing adult things. You know, paying bills or earning. Not you're not paying bills yet, but you're earning money to pay bills. And it was actually what I wanted to talk to you about today, and that is adulting, and just kind of the process. Because you and I, we're still, I think, technically young adults. I don't know if that's correct or not. I like to think I am, because I don't know. I get scared thinking I'm going to be like a man. I don't know. I mean, I got 2 kids, and it's like I don't know.
I don't know. We're not too far off from being the Crusties, man.
Yeah. So I wanted to begin to ask you this is totally just random, but I know a lot of our watchers and listeners, viewers, that's the word, watchers, viewers are high
Watchers on the
school,
wall.
viewers are high school and middle school guys. And I wanted to maybe ask you, what are some things that, from middle school and high school that, we could have, that maybe you would give advice to today, could do to practically get ready to adult, like practical little things that can help you make an easier transition into adulthood.
All right. So, as a father figure of a 17-year-old, my nephew lives with us.
Mm-hmm.
He's lived with us for a few years now. He's transitioning from child to man now.
Yeah.
I cannot stress this enough. This is the most important thing. Deodorant. I swear to God, you guys have no idea how smelly you can be. And it's awful to live with that and have that person not know.
Yeah.
We taught Tyler early on deodorant. No, honestly, let's see. Adult things you can do to prepare. There are a lot of books out there that will, claim, hey, read this book and we'll teach you how to be a man. And most of them are pretty, I would think, common sense things.
Yeah.
Have integrity, be honest, be kind, be strong, those kinds of things. The thing you need to worry about the most, though, I think, is toxic. I can never say that word. Toxic masculinity.
Mm.
You need to be aware of and avoid that. And that's the type of stuff that you see in movies where it's like, oh, well, only the big strong man can do this job. And
yeah.
If somebody's not this big strong man type of guy, you need to make fun of them.
Right.
If somebody views things differently than you, they're wrong, and you have zero room to learn from them. Those kinds of things. That needs to be the number one focus, I think, of this upcoming generation. This is a cul-de-sac. You
still lost?
Yeah, man. I'm terrible with directions. That's another thing about being an adult. Buy a phone with GPS.
Oh, man.
Where am I? Like, I thought I knew where I was, and then that was a cul-de-sac, so I didn't. So, toxic masculinity, don't be afraid to ask for directions.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, let me ask you this then. One of the things that I remember hearing from adults as a high schooler was they would always talk to you about, like, be mature, be your age, that kind of thing. And I think growing up, we kind of had a different idea about maturity than what was generally taught to us. I think maturity, and at least how it was perceived for me, it felt like this thing that would automatically just switch. Like this, hey, once you turn 18, things are going to be different. You're just going to naturally kind of think differently, behave differently. So let me ask you this, man. What is maturity in your opinion, and how does one reach, or if that is even a thing to possibly do to reach maturity.
Sure. So maturity, a lot of people think is, losing that childhood, uh, fun, fancy-free mentality and just handling things with a lot of decorum.
Yeah.
But I disagree with that personally. I think that maturity is, I think I know where I'm at. Okay, cool. Sorry. I think maturity is being able to handle serious situations with a serious attitude,
Mm.
being able to have fun with fun situations, and knowing the difference.
Mm.
Because you can say you're mature all you want, but if every time something happens, you're like, no, we need to follow the rules, we need to do this, we need to do that. Like, you're not handling that particular situation with grace.
Mm.
And grace and maturity go hand in hand. Like, you
Yeah.
need to be able to know how to react to a situation to be able to handle it maturely. And it definitely doesn't come with age, because there are plenty of examples.
Oh, yeah.
I will not say by name some of those examples, but there are plenty of examples of old
Yeah.
people that are not mature at all, that
Yeah, for sure.
attack other people that disagree with them. They just come up with outright lies to defend whatever they say. They make
Yeah.
fun of people for things that they can't even help.
Yeah.
So maturity isn't something that clicks with age, but it is definitely something that you can learn.
Yeah. It's good. I was thinking back when you made a great point. Just because you're 30 years old, 50 years old, whatever, doesn't mean you're mature. I remember my first semester in college, and I was sitting in, I think it was like, I swear it was like, oh man, it was some 101 class, like super simple, basic, and the teacher had said something, and a student in the back, and the student was like a 40, 50-year-old male, and he just decided to start arguing with his teacher. And like all of us in the room, like there's nothing wrong with disagreeing with someone, but it was like every single thing he said had like this like not very foolproof defense, and it was just like this bombardment of like, that's stupid kind of thing. It's like, but you're the
Look,
one in
man,
this one-on-one class.
I have been dealing with people like that all year on a bunch of different dumb stuff that like should be common sense,
Right.
but they think because they're older, they have the final say and they know what's right, and I don't know my own life.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's my life, man. How are you? What do you mean? Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm living this experience.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because you're old doesn't mean you're right.
Right. Yeah.
But
I think people equate experience to wisdom or to maturity, and by experience I mean the length of experience, or the amount of experience, I should say.
yeah,
And I
people
don't think
think
that's always the
time
case.
is experience, and that's not true.
Right. Right.
Just because you've been here longer doesn't mean you've had more experiences, especially in individual topics.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
my whole thing about life, live for the story.
Hmm.
If I think some decision is going to be non-harmful and have a good story, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of experiences. I've met a lot of people. I've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
I've seen life from a lot of different points of view.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, some of these people that have tried to argue with me that claim they know what they're talking about don't.
Yeah.
And it's really dangerous for someone as young as the people watching this right now are to get set into one mindset and then just lock in,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you might be wrong, and if you don't accept correction,
Yeah.
you're going to grow up thinking that same thing that's wrong for your entire life.
Right. I think it can be both. What's what I'm looking for? It can both be inspiring to young viewers and listeners, because of this exact point that we're making, is that time does not equal experience, and so therefore, even in a high school age or even middle school age, you can be incredibly wise and make really mature decisions and just actions. And I say this with what's what we're looking for, with humility. You and I, by many people growing up when we were in high school, they commend us for being wise and being mature for our age. And I think it's not because we were like non-fun or because we didn't know how to have just funny, stupid moments, but it was because we knew, like you said earlier, how to separate those moments and how to listen and to try to gain information. And so, let me ask you this: what are some simple steps in high school to? I don't mean this in a negative way, but maybe I just can't think of another way to say it, but try to be more mature than the people in the room. Like, I don't mean that in like a, hey, I have to be better than you. I mean that like, hey, how can I be the most, humble, wise person in the class?
Right. So the quickest way is trauma. I'm just kidding. Um, oh,
Jeez.
that was dark. No, sorry. No, one really good way is take 15, 20 minutes out of your day, first thing in the morning. And I know it's going to sound cliche. I'm not a pastor, though, so this is not just because it's my job.
Yeah.
Read your Bible, spend some time in worship.
Mm,
God is always going to give you the things that you ask for unless he
yeah.
knows that they're going to hurt you.
Mm,
Wisdom is one of those things that will never hurt you.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wisdom is going to save you from a lot of hurt.
Mm,
And if you're asking God for wisdom and genuinely seeking it, he's going to give it to you.
right.
Um, Another thing you can do is, like I said a second ago, get different perspectives. Talk to
Yeah.
people from different walks of life. Um, Go places that aren't just your 5 mile radius hometown.
Mm,
Like when I was in college, I went to UTSA for like a semester, and then I literally ran away to join the circus. I signed up for a college internship at Disney. I met so many people from so many different places, and my worldview was opened so wide so fast. It
yeah.
was like it was like learning was just crammed into my head. Like I
Yeah.
had no choice but to learn and expand my point of view. And now when people talk to me, they say, "Hey, this, and this." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've met somebody who has that same point of view. We've
Right.
discussed it, and he thinks this way, or she
Yeah.
thinks this way." And we're both growing from that conversation now because not
Right.
only am I giving my point of view on that situation, but I'm gaining a new point of view as well.
Mm, it's good, man. That's, I was thinking about, just I think that's probably the biggest thing I think about when it comes to just growing and learning and maturing is just it just comes down to listening. It comes down to what is your input. Yeah, are you listening? Are you mentioned earlier reading your Bible? Are you spending time putting in the right things? I'm not saying that you can't have random moments and just have fun, goof off, that kind of thing, but man, there's such an incredible difference between people both intelligently and just maturely, just the difference between people who listen and those who don't. And I think
Yeah,
it's so remarkably different and important to set yourself aside to be a listener and to just gain information. I think
that
if
man's
you
yard is full of ducks. He's just like, there's not even a pond anywhere. He's just sitting outside throwing bread at ducks in his yard.
uh,
Where am I?
Oh man, well, hey, I'm almost done, so I'll let you use your GPS in a second. So before I let you go, though, one last question with adulting: what are some of
Yeah.
the most craziest, scary adulting moments you can think of? Like, yeah, just
Ooh.
what you got out there?
Um. Okay. So scariest adulting moments. Um. Man, big purchases always
Mm,
really freak me out.
yep,
Like buying a car, finding a house, like
yeah,
that kind of stuff has always really freaked me out. Learning about credit, realizing that I have none, that was terrifying. Having a kid has been like,
yeah,
it's like the biggest blessing and also the scariest thing in the world because literally anything I do could screw this kid up,
right.
or I could do everything right and still screw my kid up. Like, am I doing the
Yeah,
right thing? Am I giving her the best opportunities? Am I
yeah,
doing everything I need to do?
mm,
That's
yeah.
probably the scariest adult thing.
You, you've watched The Office. You know that that one episode where Michael is buying a condo, and he's in the condo with Carol, the real estate agent, and he's getting ready to sign the papers, and she talks about how it's like a 30-year fixed loan, and and he starts flipping out. He's like just getting all stressed out, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And he like grabs the stovetop and he pulls it off. Like, oh, it's not supposed to come off. He's like, that's how I felt when I was purchasing this car. It's like it was my first time purchasing a car. I was like, okay, is the steering wheel supposed to move like that? You know, just random stupid things.
Yeah.
Big purchases. All right, man. All right, so one last question for you, but it's a fun, random one. And it's actually about something that you just talked about, Disney. I was thinking about this. I don't know if I actually asked you this before, or at least on live. What was, because a lot of people may not know that you were intern at Disney, you worked in the parks. So as both a worker and as a guest, a visitor, what was your favorite park and your favorite I don't want to limit it to a ride, but experience?
All right. So as a worker, my favorite park was Hollywood Studios. It is the smallest park before they add the Star Wars thing.
Hmm.
But that's where I worked most of my shifts, and I had an absolute blast. I love the people I worked with. I love the atmosphere. It's a little more laid back than like Magic Kingdom, where everybody's like running around trying to get to every ride.
Yeah.
And then the fireworks show at the end, Fantasmic, was the best fireworks show in the entire park.
Mm.
And I got to see that like every other night. It was so great, such a great work experience.
Mm.
As a guest, also probably my favorite park, just because I love the rides there. They're more adult themed, like faster, more terrifying rides.
Right.
Rock and Roller Coaster is pretty cool. Just that whole Sunset Boulevard area with Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, some of the shops. That's all real cool spot for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
cool, man. Dude, I'm
it.
so excited. I don't know if everyone knows, but a few years back, before we had kids, I mean, Jessica was pregnant during that trip, but you, Janelle, Jess, and I, we all went to Disney World together, and that was so much fun. And I'm so looking forward to us going again, because now there's Star Wars there, and dude, it's I'm so excited and so ready for whenever the whole world's not in fire to go back again.
I mean, Disney just opened up again, but I refuse to go if I have to wear a mask. And it's not because I refuse to wear a mask. It's because Disney has to be enjoyed in 100% freedom.
Right, yeah. Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, Chris, my friend, my best friend, my bro, thank you so much for spending time with me. You're the best. I'm really glad you're my friend. So, you got anything else to say before we chop out?
Nothing of importance.
All right, man. Love you, bro. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Chris, catch you later, man.
Later, guys.
Bye, friends.